YouTuber John the Paranormal Guy ranked the top 5 most haunted locations he's investigated in 2021. Among them was the Springville Plantation House in Alabama. Here's what they encountered there. Listen closely.
Is that you?
No.
Was that you?
Hey, can you come down here?
The unexplained scream sent chills down my spine. Listen again.
With us?
What was that? I can definitely hear a scream in the background, but it's not clear where it's coming from. Is it human or paranormal? I think we'd have to dig deeper to find out. What would you do if you encountered a figure from your nightmares in the middle of a forest? YouTuber Adi Riono shares this insanely creepy video of just such an encounter. After racing away, the cameraman turns back to see if the figure follows, but he finds that it has disappeared. Where did it go? Is it about to pop up right behind him? I hope not, because this is the thing nightmares are made of. An urban exploration channel called Urbex with Taffy goes investigating an underground bunker when they start to feel incredibly watched for no reason at all. They pause at the entrance to a dark room and, night vision rolling, call out to any haunting the tunnels with them.
Okay, alright, so, is there anyone in here with us? Will you make a sound? Just make a noise?
In the doorway is a shadow person who is not Taffy nor his friend, Carl. As you can see both of their shadows. It's weird that a third shadow appears as soon as they ask for a sign, but this wouldn't be too hard to fake with a third person's help. The question is whether or not it was really the two of them down there in the creepy haunted tunnel, and that's something only Carl and Taffy will know for sure. The shadow hunters from Brazil go exploring the woods for an abandoned house haunted by an angry poltergeist. It's a long walk through darkness to find it, but when they do, they go sprinting up to its yellow walls to try and catch the poltergeist by surprise.
Vai por aí. Vixe. Tem alguém aí?
They walk around the perimeter of the poltergeist house and find something else that leaves him extremely freaked out and regretting their decision to come here at night.
Tem nada aí não, mano. Tem alguém aí? Tem vela aqui também. Nossa, mano do céu.
On the ground are more candles and a sheet that with something strangely shaped underneath of it. Candles surround the object on all sides and give me a bad feeling that something has gone really wrong here. Whatever's been covered with a sheet is not moving and shows no signs of life. They go inside for a closer look but do not dare lift up the sheet and see what's inside. What do you think was under there? If the legends were true about this poltergeist being a summoner, then I think we all know the answer. They might have set this all up for a video, but I don't think so. He doesn't waste any time ending this video and calling the police. Junior Tor 1 helps his father move a table, and only when they put it down does he notice something he wishes he never caught on camera.
And we picked it up under here, and we carried it out, and when I flipped it over, guess what I discovered? And I stuck my hands under there.
From the view at 36 seconds, it's easy to see how the spider stayed hidden from view. The circled area is where the spider is, and also exactly where he grabbed the table to lift it. For better context, this is where his fingers were, and of course you already know where the spider is. He thinks this is a wolf spider, but someone else claims this to be a dark fishing spider. This is a fierce debate in the comments section of the video, so let's see if we can settle the issue here. A haunted home in Italy that has been the subject of many failed exorcisms has some incredible paranormal activity caught on tape that almost has to be trick photography. Tell me how this was done before I wake up screaming tonight. It almost looks too well done to be computer editing. A 4-circuit CCTV system in Japan shows a woman waiting to get an elevator, but what we're looking at is the woman in the upper right monitor who is about to do the impossible. Did you see it? If not, I'll show you again. This does appear to be at least somewhat edited, especially when you pause halfway through and get that green screen look, but maybe it's just a glitch with the video file, and I need to accept the possibility that it could actually be real. It's not fun in games anymore when something like this happens. Posted to the very spooky video subreddit by Adam Gray 59. The Redditor is wondering if this is poltergeist activity. In the video, some gamers are playing Call of Duty, and the gamer on screen appears to have gone for a bathroom or snack break. His chair is empty, or maybe it isn't. The chair starts swiveling quietly around. Of course, this unnerves the player on the opposite side of the screen. Is a ghost occupying this chair? Redditor Tommy MCY in the comments says, it's a gamer ghost, while others are more skeptical, saying things like chairs simply do that on their own. So, gamer ghost or just an off-kilter chair? I'd like to think a ghost was at the controls. This Chicago police body cam shows multiple officers rushing to save a man and his dog from freezing in Lake Michigan. From a distance, it looks like the distressed person is trapped on a snowbank at first.
Sir! Someone over here!
But as the officer approaches, you can see the person is actually waist deep in freezing waters and ready to go under. The officers quickly extend a rescue cord for him to tie onto, and they yank him to safety with one strong pull.
Come on! Hold me! Got this! Hold me! There we go. You're good. Come on! You're good. Thank you so much. You're good.
Thankfully, they are able to do the same with the dog as well. I'm guessing that he was walking his dog along the edge of the water for a nicer view when the snow gave way. The cold water must have left him practically frozen from the waist down and unable to climb out. Let me know if you agree whether or not that's what probably happened. Published in April 2017 by Steve Cody. This video allegedly shows a ghost haunting a swimming pool. In the description, Steve writes, I noticed my camera picked up motion around my pool about a week ago. After midnight, I watched the whole video with my wife, and there's a ghost or something floating over the pool. He said it lingered there for several minutes. The video does in fact show a light floating over his dark swimming pool at night. It just hovers in the top right corner of the screen, bouncing back and forth a bit. So what is it? A luminous ghost? A ghost holding something luminous? Whatever it is, don't go in the water. While investigating the Englefield Green Social Hall, YouTube team Southern Ghost Society captures some clear poltergeist activity. Listen closely for the EVP. I'm not sure what that sound was, but another camera manages to capture it from a different angle.
Boy. This table just went. Holy no.
It sounds to me like a door creaks and then something bangs loudly nearby. We can't see anything in the darkness, so I'd be curious to find out if anything was moved once the lights were turned back on. Regardless, this does seem to me to be paranormal. What you are hearing is the heavy breathing of a man who took the lives of 14 people. This message was left on the answering machine of one of his targets during the 70s. It's clear that he's trying to instill as much fear as possible before his next strike. He wants the person and the community at large to know what's going to happen to all of them, and he savors their fear. The message is so over the top that I think most people would have had a hard time believing it was real. But if you ever receive a message like this one, remember that there are people out there who are not fooling around and will hold themselves to their word. The YouTube team Greg and Heather's exploration know what fear is. They found it in the woods. As Heather is sitting near a campfire, she hears something unsettling nearby.
What the heck? What was that noise?
She goes to investigate.
Hello? Where is that coming from?
Nobody answers, so she continues on. As she hears the sound again, she finally encounters its maker.
There it goes again. Oh my... Hello?
What is this creature?
What are you doing out here? Oh my...
Whatever it is, it's soon coming for her. Will she escape him?
Where'd you go?
It's almost creepier when he disappears. While the YouTuber explains in the description that this video is, in fact, fiction, the horror is real, and I think their monster is particularly chilling. A flaming torch in the forest revealed this group was not alone. The uploader writes that these friends were having some drinks in the woods when two of the young women saw a mysterious creature watching them. In the clip, the group is enveloped in darkness. That is until one of them tosses a flaming torch toward a tree. It lights the brush at the base of the tree, and it also lights this creature hiding behind it. The extraterrestrial-looking figure is crouched low at the stump of the tree, but its large cranium and eyes briefly appear. You can see it back away for a moment behind the tree, and then as the camera moves in closer, its hands extend long, spindly fingers. What is watching them? It looks like something out of this world. This tape was found under a bridge somewhere in Russia. In it, a person is riding their bicycle while talking happily into the camera. If you speak Russian, please let me know what is being said here.
Всем привет. В общем, я сейчас нахожусь под...
Suddenly, their monologue is cut short by a shrill noise off camera.
Слышите? Чудо.
It sounds like he is asking who is there, when suddenly the answer comes rushing up to him.
Кто это?
His scream becomes scrambled and the camera fades away. If this video is real, then I can't help but notice how the mutant shriek sounds almost human. I wonder how close this video was to the infamous site of the Chernobyl meltdown. Redditor Purgatory Adventures submitted this to the Chills Narrator subreddit, and they said it's one of the scariest events in Purgatory Adventures history. The Redditor described the events as the following. We captured footsteps coming down the stairs at us. The ghost hunting team appears to be in an abandoned building of some sort. One team member sits in the middle of a mostly empty room, but keep your eye on the door in the top right. And just like that, clear as day, they hear footsteps coming from the other side of that door, like someone is walking down some stairs.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
Something tells me they're not alone in this place, but the question now is whether it's a ghost or a stranger. Which one do you think it is? Either way, I'd be staying far away from this place.
What the f? That was like in the staircase, man.
This infrared video from 2008, taken by a ghost hunting squad in South Dakota called the SPCTR, details paranormal evidence at an abandoned house haunted by the spirit of a child. A mysterious figure peers around the corner at the end of the dark hallway. A ghost if you ask the SPCTR team, but I'm not so sure. The figure doesn't seem very tall and has shoulder-length hair if you look closely at 18 seconds, so maybe this was a little ghost girl in the hallway after all. If this is fake, then one of the paranormal investigators is crouched down to make themselves look like a kid. Tell me if you think this paranormal evidence is legit, or if this was a made-up sighting from the early days of YouTube. What do you make of the creature in this creepy video? Published in June of 2017, a car is driving through a desert when it slows to a stop. Some animals appear in the area near a fence. From far off, they look like they could be anything. Cows, dogs, the video is unclear, but as the camera zooms in and the car backs up and then turns around to get an unobstructed view, we see that at least one of the creatures looks like something from a horror movie. It almost looks like a humanoid doing a bear crawl, but I can't imagine a human being able to pull that off for as long as this creature does. The way it moves is not characteristic of any animal. It's unnatural. The creature continues on, trotting alongside the other animals. Is this human, humanoid, animal, or some other unknown? It definitely is something I've never seen before. A garbage man in New York City leaked this video online to show us a scary side of the industry that we were never meant to see. He needs to pull this dumpster down an alley to the garbage truck. Most of us would walk right up and grab the handle, but the veteran worker does something important first. He kicks the dumpster and waits. That's because out here you can get surrounded by a mob of rats. If you walk up to their territory without giving them a heads up, kicking makes them scatter away.
Come on, bro. Come on. Get your stuff together and get out of here. Get all your boys. Get all your boys, let's go. Yeah.
This dumpster must not have much food in it because only a few run away instead of dozens like normal. Now comes the hard part.
Now we're going to attempt to move the can.
He gives a sharp tug and lets go. When nothing confronts him, he proceeds. He gets halfway down the alley when something creepy decides to make his day twice as difficult.
Still. Come on, bro. You gotta go. Can't go back in there.
This one is smaller than the rest, but it's stuck around longer than the others and seems twice as territorial. It starts to run away and then it gets another idea. I'm not sure if he fell over or dropped the camera, but the rat, scared and caught up in the moment, jumped straight at him. It looks like an aggressive move rather than just trying to get away. That rat did not want to give up its dumpster. This is why garbage men are paid more than teachers. Jokes the top comment of this video. I'm not sure if this statement is true, but after seeing this video, do you agree with it or not? And if this is how crazy just one rat acts, imagine how scary it would be to get chased down an alleyway by a whole swarm of them. Talk about a tough and thankless job. Submitted to the Chills Narrator subreddit by ConsciousSwing7599, this redditor wrote, "Trying to film a podcast until some intruder or some kind of lost creature started stalking us. Let's watch their submission and see what they're talking about."
Yeah, no, I don't know. In 40 years, I'm retiring. What are you gonna be doing, dog?
I'll be close to retiring, I said.
I don't know, dude. That's gonna be me, dude. I can't see myself doing anything but one of those like trashy office jobs, dude.
The redditor later wrote in the comments, "There was something in the background right before the first cut."
Guys, there's a little jiggling going on with our doorknob. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know who that is, or if I call my dad, I know we're not going upstairs. That's for sure. I'm hoping he's going away. This is the third time he's done that.
And it started stalking us and trying to get in.
Oh, you can kind of see him. Boom. Yeah, no, there he is. That's a little scary for us tonight. My dad is not home. I don't know if I call him or what. Dude, we found the guy that was at our house knocking. He's just walking on the highway. We passed him like a couple times. Now he's gonna be up here, I think.
Dude, this is
crazy. You guys see him? I'm not slowing down, dude. I'm not risking this.
Be careful.
You
don't want to hit him, dude. He's just walking out.
There he is. There he is. There he is. That's creepy. What?
To which Pete the Cook 2 responded with, "I can see it in the background before you go in, but can't make it out when you are looking out the window. Is the thing in the background the same as the guy walking down the road?" The uploader later responded saying, "He was actually out the window if you look against the garage. We think it's the same guy, because it's not like a group of people are going to a house that rural." It seems like this was one of the most positively received submissions in Chills Narrator subreddit history. Thanks Conscious Swing 7599. There's a reason no one parks here. Published by Haunted Forest Monsters in May of 2019. This creepy clip caught a mysterious figure on a parking lot security camera. Captured around 9 p.m., the dark parking lot shines as though it's recently rained. After a moment, a semi-transparent figure is seen traveling from the left side of the lot to the right.
Yo, what the f?
It doesn't stop as it meets a median filled with trees and bushes, but appears again in the next parking lot over. Is this a meter-made phantom? Or did this once living being lose track of his car for so long, he lost his life in the process of trying to find it?
I know I see it.
I just did some research, and I guess if you're gonna get lost at a dead-end, creepy bridge, at least if there's some cool legend, ghost story behind it, then it's worth checking out, right?
An outdoors YouTube channel called Nomadic Fanatic has been camping for a week when he comes across a spooky location, an old bridge that's haunted. According to legend, a bandit named Stuckley was brought to justice here.
And apparently every once in a while, if you hear a splash in the water, that's Stucky's ghost behind here. There's nothing you can really do about. We're out of here. That's about enough of that.
Nomadic Fanatic is all by himself, holding a GoPro when he hears a splash below, which is a bit too much of a coincidence, so I guess that means the ghost story could be real.
And unfortunately, there is a lot of graffiti left behind here. There's nothing you can really do about.
I mean, Nomadic Fanatic has been alone all week and has tons of video evidence to prove he was by himself when this happened. I don't see how it could be set up, and therefore I think this scary noise could be a paranormal encounter with a ghost EVP caught on camera. This person's nails are just long enough to produce one of the most stressful sounds ever recorded. If you somehow are able to keep from cringing from stress at what I'm about to show you, consider me impressed. Worst of all, judging by these claw marks seen at the very beginning of the video, I think they tend to enjoy making this noise all of the time. Is this a party or on the roof? While in this first video, it looks like something just floating there. In the second video though, it's on the move.
Guys, anjing, itu apa anjing? Goblok. Ibu-ibu ngapun. Ibu-ibu, anjing, goblok ibu.
That's definitely a ghost in my opinion, and it's 500% creepy. Let's just hope this spirit was just looking to party. Ever tried to poke a thread through the eye of a needle? Well, that's basically what bus drivers do on Needles Highway in South Dakota. This video is not for the claustrophobic. Highway 87 near Rapid City, South Dakota, and Custer State Park earned its nickname due to its narrow, single-lane roads, deadly defying twists and turns, and of course the needles, which are narrow granite tunnels that vehicles navigate. That is, if their drivers have got the guts. The tunnels were created by blasting through mountains, forming walls of sheer rock on either side. Believe it or not, some buses attempt the crazy feat of driving their big hauls through the narrow tunnels. These drivers show no fear as they prepare to undertake a Mission Impossible level task of weaving down this dangerous road while also looking out for falling rocks. Just watching makes you hold your breath in anticipation. But never fear, slowly but surely, this particular driver succeeded with only inches of room to spare on either side of the tunnel. The UK explorer reaches the top floor of an abandoned house and finds himself standing outside of an old break room kitchen. He takes a single step inside and is met with the sound of old material crumbling beneath his feet.
Just going into one of the rooms that we found in a house that belonged to the factory. Nice kitchen. I did in fact fall. Luckily I didn't go right through.
He falls up to his waist and puts his arms out at the last second to save himself, shutting off his camera in the process. A newly formed hole in the brittle floor shows a massive drop, ending in piles of sharp-edged debris. Even if he did survive the fall, no one was around to help 4 miles in all directions. Number 11. A Saudi Arabian ghost hunter known only as High claims to have caught a real jinn on camera while exploring an abandoned house that he knows is haunted. I can't tell if this is a gap in the curtains or a ghost in the window. He presses onwards and reaches the second floor before things get beyond creepy.
في أحد؟
Something paranormal is making movements.
بسم الله.
And staying one step ahead of the paranormal explorer at all times.
بسم الله بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء.
The excited ghost hunter runs from room to room trying to keep up, praying for strength all the while.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
As the ghost apparently runs into a tall cabinet, I can't help but wonder if it's just as afraid as he is.
بسم الله.
Cornered and with nowhere to go, the spirit finally has to rely on its supernatural defenses to get out of there quickly.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. 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 بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Scary noises are heard all around, doors shutting, cabinets opening, and soon a strange and bizarre paranormal mist floods the room. It's hard to say if this was real paranormal activity or dust kicked up from him throwing objects everywhere, but I think it's probably real and most certainly is creepy. YouTuber Seeker of Ghosts seeks ghosts in this paranormal forest, but what he finds is a goblin. He first spots it in the darkness through his camera lens. You can see its vague outline up close. Here it is again. After he flees from the goblin, he hears it again.
Это что, леший? Ёб твою мать. Ёб твою мать, это леший!
He runs off a second time, hoping that the angry goblin doesn't follow. I don't blame him, though we didn't get a clear enough look to confirm that it was in fact a goblin. The mysterious creature sparks fear in me. I wouldn't stick around either. A YouTuber named Benny Loco is on a desert urban exploration in a bunch of abandoned houses that are empty, or so she thinks. She steps inside and looks to the right, no one. But standing on an opposite side of the room, under some drapes, is a silhouette that she thinks is some kind of animal figure because of these supposed ears.
Boudoir. With a bunny in the window. Creepy bunny.
But all I see is a hooded figure staring at her through a thin piece of fabric. This is one of the only times I've seen somebody laugh off a ghost sighting and not check to see what it was. All of the windows are blocked, so I guess she could be looking at a piece of cardboard or something. But since something just moved in that room and then disappeared, I have to go with paranormal activity on this one. This is not your average hanger-on. While hanging in this creepy forest, note in the first video, this is a 5-man crew. And yet, in the second video, a 6th person is lurking in the background, and he's acting very creepy. What is that dude doing back there? Is he part of the group, or do they even realize that he's there? Even if he is a member of the crew, I'd say they should keep an eye on him. His behavior seems a little bizarre to say the least. While staying at a hotel room in Ireland, Roisin O'Brien grabs her dad to show him something bizarre. A ghost is moving a cup on its own, she tells him. Of course, nothing happens and she looks like a total liar until suddenly...
That's freaky.
The cup moves all by itself to the edge of the glass shelf and then stops. There is no string around it that I can see, and besides, she is holding her phone and her dad is sitting on the bed clear across the room with his back turned, so no one was messing with it. She resets it, and as soon as she complains that it takes the ghost a long time, the cup moves instantly.
But like it's taken ages for it to go. It's like...
So let's just say there was string tied around the cup. Her father is now standing to the right of her, so if it was him, then the cup should pull to the right in his direction. Instead, it moves straight ahead and stops exactly on the edge of the shelf, same as before. The shelf is level and there is no moisture around the rim to make it slide like that. This is glass on glass, you can hear the friction.
Ages for it to go. It's like...
She's right. The cup is moving on its own, maybe from a ghost. Would you complete a ritual to summon a demon? YouTube team Proving Demons would. They head to the ghost church, where a demon is reputed to be, and they find that this place is more than unholy. On the way down there, they encounter a large lake with houses drowning below.
I read up that there was 13 houses that were part of this original village.
Yeah, that's correct, yeah.
And they're sunken under this.
Mm-hmm.
They circle the church 3 times. As the legend goes, the demon will appear.
Here we come. 3rd time's the charm. Let's see if he makes his presence known tonight.
Not long after, they hear what sounds like a child's voice.
Yeah, I heard that.
Communicating through a spirit box, they ask what the spirit is.
You a demon? If you're a demon, say the word demon. What did it just say? So I'm a demon?
Using a Connect app, they see a figure in the graveyard.
Oh.
It's picking up on the grave, I think.
The grave, yeah.
I think. It's not picking up on the other graves, though.
No, it's not.
Do you want to see who's on that grave?
They speak with it again through the spirit box.
No.
What did it say? I didn't hear that.
I want you to join.
No.
After that, they nope right out of there. This last message from the beyond makes me sure that this isn't just a spirit, it's a demon. A YouTuber named MBJ Report has a pest in his yard that has been bothering his dogs, so he decides to stick a garden hose down into the ground and flood it out of its den. Now they are waiting with a net to catch the pest and dispose of it if necessary. It isn't long before he sees 2 glowing eyes appear out of a second hole in the distance. This appears to be no ordinary pest, but rather a monster instead.
It's something. I don't know what that is.
It remains frozen in the beam of the flashlight for a while, hoping that he will leave it alone. Then the creature drops back into the ground below with a shriek. MBJ Report has had enough and decides to pull the creature up by its tail. He pulls back a red hand with a deep cut, which I unfortunately can't show here, and the video ends. I notice that the creature doesn't really move its limbs at all, and possibly looks like a toy, though I can be wrong. Even still, that doesn't explain the glowing red eyes though. So if you think you can tell if this is fake or real, then be sure to tell me how you know. The Waverly Hills Sanitarium in Kentucky has been condemned since the early 60s, though the spirits of its former inhabitants are thought to still roam its rubble-filled halls. Lindsay Rogers leads a ghost hunting team through the dark asylum, and it isn't long before they are engulfed by paranormal activity.
Holy sh!
It sounds like a door opens, and you can see Lindsay looks right, but the door is still shut. There's a second banging noise that almost sounds like a body hitting the ground. Though without more video footage, we'll never know for sure. This video is from a camping trip that Emery Buckner and his friends took back in 2010. After introducing each of his friends by name, something catches Emery's eye. He zooms in on a small clearing in the woods that's just up ahead, and that's when he sees it for the first time.
Guys, what is that?
I think it's... What's what, Bradley?
Seriously, guys, there's something I seriously saw something over there, Tom.
None of his friends manage to see it, but Emery encourages them to stay still and keep looking. Then, sure enough, the red glowing eyes return.
Guys?
What? Oh my God.
What is that? That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh.
What is it?
They waste little time retreating to their boat and speed away to safety. But just before they take off, Emery catches the creature a final time. It's now casually observing the group while perched in a tree, its head cocked to the side. its faint outline barely visible behind a pair of glowing red eyes. Many claim to see a hidden monster in this YouTube video from Australia. Look closely and you'll see what appears to be the top half of a tall furry creature standing among the trees. Some people even claim to see a second similar creature in the bottom right-hand corner. Well, I do see what they are talking about. This also looks like it could just be the blackened center of a rotten tree, but I'm just not sure. Let me know what you think this is, and if you believe there is any possibility of this being the legendary Australian Bigfoot. Steer clear of this swampland. It is home to prehistoric reptiles. Published by MD Starbeast in May of 2022. The YouTuber is wondering what this creature is. Surrounded by lily pads, a snake-like head protrudes from the swampland. It's very still but seems to be rising up out of the water. Is it an eel of some kind? Some obscure reptile? A water dragon? What is your theory? A popular YouTuber named Shark is brought to this allegedly haunted location after his friend had a ghost sighting here the last time he went exploring.
And this is Marco. This is the guy, you saw the ghost, right?
Yeah, but I saw it.
You actually saw a ghost?
I saw a ghost, man.
You're not even kidding?
I'm dead serious.
Just kind of want to come here, see if we see anything paranormal, see if anything's going on, because right when he told me that, I was like, okay, we need to come.
They are approaching an old historic house when a mysterious figure is caught on camera in the courtyard.
Push, dude, that's not moving.
No, it's moving.
Oh, yeah.
It's moving back. No, it's moving.
Just don't on that.
It's like,
I'm zoomed in all the way.
It's like swaying back and forth.
They argue whether or not the mysterious figure is alive, and then the object moves, so it's presumably a person. If this was a maintenance worker or a security guard, then they would probably have a flashlight, and they would also probably ask what's going on, not stand in place being as creepy as possible without making a sound, and what happens next is creepy beyond all explanation.
No. Wait, yo, she's actually moving!
It moved. Bro, it's gone, bro.
The mysterious figure seemingly disappears on camera, although when played in slow motion, it kind of looks like they simply stepped backwards out of the light and into the darkness. Still creepy either way.
Literally right here was where it was. Dude, what?
There's nothing there.
Was that literally just a random girl or something?
I don't know what it was. It looked like a
It kind of looked like it had long hair, so I think it may have been a girl.
A ghost girl, to be precise. I don't necessarily see long hair like he claims, but I'll take his word for it. And 1 minute later, they turn around to see the same shadowy figure now standing in the very place where they were at the beginning of this 3 a.m. video. I think this is probably a paranormal event and most likely a ghost sighting of a little girl like they claim. The ghostly shadow figure doesn't seem much taller than the railing that it's standing beside. And here's a scary moment you probably missed. Watch this window. At 4 minutes and 25 seconds, the light is on, and as soon as they see the figure, the light turns off by itself. It could be a timer, but it's a small detail that makes me think this is not planned and is, in fact, a paranormal event. This anxiety-producing deep web video is a collection of strange clips, accompanied by multiple layers of creepy audio. After a while, it becomes increasingly demonic and obsessed with black magic imagery as the jarring audio intensifies. The video also contains multiple languages. I think this part, for example, is both Spanish and Russian. Translate this clip if you can and tell me what's going on here. This could just be an art project, but then again, maybe there's something more devious at work here. It's almost as if this video was made in as many different languages as possible to corrupt the greatest number of minds at once. Whatever they are saying, however, I'm not exactly sure. This pirate treasure was planted for YouTuber the Pucka Pucka's 6-year-old daughter. She was wanting some pocket money, so she reluctantly sent to clean out the old unused window box. Little did she know she would find a treasure map amongst the old brass, the YouTuber writes. The map leads to a secret room sealed upon her conception 7 years ago. While cleaning out the old window box, the young girl finds a load of old doorknobs and a secret map. The map shows that their house has a secret room. The father takes her into the hallway, tells her to place the map on the ground in the same orientation as the home, and asks her why they must go to find the secret room. They wind up in the girl's room. She says it would be weird if there was a hidden door in her own room. She starts pounding on the wall and notes that it sounds hard, not hollow. The father joins in and says it sounds hollow in one part of the wall. They decide to cut the wall as there might be treasure and lots of money, like $150,000, so they could go to Disneyland. As the girl suggests, they cut open the wall and do in fact find the secret room. At first, the girl assumes there's nothing in it, but at the far end of the room, a small silver treasure chest sits. Inside are necklaces, jewelry, and doubloons. What a great way to send your child on an adventure. The paranormal boys experience crazy paranormal activity in this place frozen in time. As they're speaking to the spirits, they hear something.
Did you hear that?
That was definitely a knock. Later, using a spirit box app, they capture this. As they continue speaking, they're sent some terrifying messages.
If you're in this room, can you affect some of the devices we put down? Where are you, Tom? Was that Ben?
And then the spirits respond directly.
Copy this. You joking me? Did you hear that?
Still, it warns them.
Hey? Yeah, it's just sitting in the sofa. What was that? Dead. Dead?
There's someone upstairs.
Can you hear that up there? Living. Can you hear that up there? Living.
Since the team won't listen to the spirit's warnings, it takes matters into its own hands.
I thought you pushed my arm then. Something just... Jeffrey. Something just pushed my arm.
What pushed his arm? I think it was Jeffrey. But in the end, it could be any one of the demons haunting this place. There's no trickery to this one, nothing paranormal, but we guarantee it will make some of you very scared. Posted to TikTok by Madison Bergia, the spider reunion on this ceiling is sure to send everyone out the door, leaving their shadow behind them. Madison captured this enormous mama spider and all her little spider babies just chilling outside, down right above her. Most commenters say they're moving to Mars, while Larray fan page writes that his anxiety went through the roof watching this. We're with you, Larry. If you haven't panicked yet, now's the time. Just kidding. There's something inherently creepy about this abandoned building, but just wait until it breathes. YouTube channel Scary Punch shares this video whose original source is YouTuber Dark Ghost Paranormal. At first, nothing appears off.
Я в этой комнате. Дай мне знак, если я в этой комнате.
But then this happens.
Дай мне знак, если надо где-то еще искать.
It looks like the room took a great breath in, drawing all the furniture to the center. Watch again. What just happened? I think a poltergeist is to blame, and this is one of the most powerful that I've ever seen. This abandoned prison castle was built in 1865 and was used to house all types of scary people. It was a transitory prison before sending prisoners to hard labor or exile. Now it apparently houses actual ghosts. Published by Toppy in November of 2021, these paranormal investigators went to visit the dark and mysterious place. Here is what they found. Outside, they walk around the wall where lives were ended. Then they head inside. The investigator notes that they say they've heard some coughing. Inside the cells, they listen but hear nothing. They come across strange windows, perhaps built for ventilation, lockable slots, likely to deliver food to the inmates, and a shower room. In one hallway, they find this figure, posed like a statue. We aren't sure what its story is, but it towers over the place like it's floating. At one point, a strange, unexplained noise is recorded as they're talking, and another sound is heard, like blowing on metal. They also hear a door bang at a distance. They say they feel like they're not alone here. Perhaps they aren't. But is their company alive or paranormal horrors? While investigating this haunted hotel of horrors, something breezes past this YouTuber from the channel, Morris's Paranormal Adventures UK, and he feels it.
Show yourself to me, please. I'm up here on my own. I can see you on this camera. If you come and stand in front of it, I'll be able to see you. Whoa. Oh, f***ing hell. It went dark then. Like something was behind me then. Is that you?
The feeling doesn't go away either.
My whole body just feels really tingly. That's freaky. Yeah, that is. Look at that. Her.
It did seem like something swept past him to me, but it could just be that this hotel is awfully atmospheric. I wouldn't be surprised if a whole gaggle of ghosts are hauled up here. Mac is a popular YouTuber from Turkey who goes exploring on all kinds of adventures. He's one of the few people willing to take a trip to the abandoned city of Chernobyl, a place where few dare to go after a nuclear power plant meltdown in the 80s left the area covered in radiation. He brings with him a Geiger meter used to measure levels of radiation, and a couple of scary moments are caught on camera. In this spot, the meter reaches about 50 units. That doesn't sound that bad, but then I realized an X-ray only takes seconds, whereas he's probably been standing here for hours. Big difference. And when he starts to go down here,
radyasyonun kalbine giden kapı burası. Evet. Artmaya başladı.
The Geiger meter warns him not to. This tunnel is the heart of radiation, he says, and wisely turns around. The glare is covering the screen, so I don't know how many units the meter reached, but if it was in the hundreds, then permanent damage might have already been done in that instant. Later, as he's exploring a research facility lined with jars of old specimens, he finds a room with nothing but cribs, a room that no doubt has the scariest and most mysterious backstory of all. What was this facility working on, and why would they need to keep so many kids down here? When your home is occupied by shadow figures, it's probably time to move out. Redditor Bianca5150 set up a security camera to try and catch which one of her dogs was doing damage in her home. She received a notification alerting her to movement, and when she checked the footage, she found this. Did you see the shadow figure? Most in the comments think she should get out now, and I tend to agree. If we're to believe that no one was really home, this is one of the best pieces of shadow figure footage that I've ever seen. A YouTuber named Sammy Pena is waiting in the car alone when a total stranger walks up and tries to open all of her doors. I think this is far from an honest mistake, because listen to how hard he pulls on the handle. He was really hoping that someone didn't shut their door all the way. But But the real giveaway is how he doesn't even try to unlock the driver's door. He probably knows from experience that this door is almost always locked and not worth bothering with. Between her tinted windows and sunglasses, he seems not to notice anyone's in the back seat at all. He casually walks away empty-handed, at least until someone forgets to lock their doors. A series of unfortunate events leads us to no answers in this video. The security footage was taken in September of 2015 at around 1 in the morning. The footage appears to be taken outside a shop after some heavy rain. Two men are standing outside, one on the pavement, one at the door. After a moment, something grabs the man standing on the pavement. Water is splashing around like the incident is happening in a puddle. The man falls to the ground and the other man near the door attempts to come to his aid, grabbing his arms. He is pushed back though and runs off toward the door to get help. The man continues to fend off the invisible force before being dragged out of sight. The man returns from inside, looking as though he's on the phone. He searches around for the man and walks toward the water. Then a large figure comes flying at him. It's not clear if it's the man returning to safety or something else. In slow motion, it looks like it's crawling on all fours. It chases the man inside, knocking the door on the way in. A moment later, a mysterious figure in a black cloak exits the building. What is happening here? Who grabbed that man? What gave chase into the building? And who is this cloaked figure? Unfortunately, we are left with no answers, only questions. When YouTuber Exploration Unknown visited a haunted house built on cursed land, he heard a female ghost speak. Let's hear what she has to say.
Now, to the young lady, can you tell me your name?
Now look in the right-hand window of the door. It looks like someone is standing there and then moves to the side.
Now, to the young lady, can you tell me your name?
The spirit repeats her name many times. Abigail wants to be free.
Say Annie. Free me.
When he asks what happened to Abby, he gets a response.
Annie, what happened to you?
To me, it sounds like she passed away during some sort of battle. I'm sure she has a reason to stick around here after, but it probably wasn't to be paranormally investigated. Believer. Will this make you a believer? Redditor Lowbeam is a self-admitted skeptic, but couldn't help but be in awe at what appeared on their grandpa's security camera on the morning he went in for heart surgery. The little halo radiates downward before floating back up again. It reappears later and moves toward the kitchen. Some on Reddit are doubtful it's a spirit or anything paranormal. But others are more apt to believe. Well, I think it could be a reflection of something, like a wind chime. The Redditor said it only lasted over a 25-minute span, so that seems even stranger to me. Personally, I hope it's a helpful presence that might bring the Redditor's grandpa peace of mind. Number 20. What's in the closet of this hotel? Posted by Horror Talk, this TikToker appears to be filming your standard hotel lockbox on a top shelf of the closet, only this one's not so standard. The lockbox keeps beeping and flashing sixes, the sign of the devil, after which it repeatedly shows an error.
I'm literally overshadowed. Bro, I'm terrified.
The girl is far away from the lockbox, and no one else is in the room. She says she just got back from the hotel bar and was reading a scary book when this started happening. Some think the 6 key was just pressed too many times and is malfunctioning. Others think the ghost is just trying to get his valuables. But what I'm wondering is what's in the box. A YouTube channel called Exploring Mysterious India is at an abandoned house that was once occupied by 5 families. Since then, it's rumored to become so dangerously haunted that not even squatters will take their chances. The group worries about snakes in the leaves and thorny forest vines, but the real danger is already watching them from afar. While searching for an entrance, they find this rope tied in a perfect knot next to a water well that looks deep enough to easily hide a body. They find this discarded cross on the floor. Perhaps it was flung from the hands of someone who tried to cleanse this place long ago. A smeared red handprint on the wall gives the impression that no one stays here for long. Sometimes you don't have to catch a spirit on video to convince me that a location is haunted. Between the rope, the well, the handprint, and the cross, I think I have enough evidence to make up my mind on this one. Hospitals are incredibly haunted places. Posted to YouTube in September of 2019, HRJ Paranormal Adventures navigates this hospital. Situated at the foothills of the South Pittsburgh Mountain, the 68,000 square foot hospital was founded in 1959, but the haunting may date back to well before it was built. Unlike Penhurst, there are no reports of mistreatment at this hospital during its operation, but there were reports by hospital employees of paranormal activity, such as inanimate objects moving of their own accord, disembodied voices, and dark shadowy figures, including a 7-foot-tall man on the 3rd floor, who is believed to be a former surgeon who practiced at the facility. He's not the only one haunting the 3rd floor. A toddler spirit and an elderly woman have both been observed there. 2 other spirits, a janitor and a female spirit, known as the Naughty Nurse, haunt the basement. This has drawn many paranormal investigators to the hospital since it closed in 1998. HRJ Paranormal Adventures manages to capture a few paranormal entities in this video. One is a ghostly reflection that appears twice at 3 minutes 53 seconds, and then again at 3 minutes 58 seconds.
All the researching all the people.
Follow the crew on their hour-long investigation of this haunted place, and you might just capture a few more spirit sightings and disembodied voices. Levitation, animal skulls, fire. This one has everything. These paranormal investigators have met their match. While looking around a ritualistic site, they come across this pentagram drawn on the wall. Nearby, rocks and candles are arranged alongside what looks like a black chopped off ponytail. There's a burnt animal skull posted up at the center of the pentagram. Later, the light from their camera shuts off. When it turns back on, a body has risen in the air and hangs there limply. It's one of their crew members, and a moment later, he is found collapsed on the floor and unconscious. They check his pulse and manage to shake him awake. He stumbles up, clearly rattled. Not long after, a fire starts on the ground in the room. They don't know how it started. Is there some evil entity haunting these hallowed grounds, brought to life by the rituals done here? Only Satan can answer that. Hannah Forcier suspects something horrifying is in her attic after numerous strange events leave her afraid. She once took a creepy photograph through a crack in her attic and saw this eerie figure looking back at her. Its pale brow barely visible. She's not sure if she's seeing things or not, but I can tell her that if this isn't a Photoshop, then I definitely see the mysterious figure too. Ever since then, she's been trying to get a grip on this scary, unsolved mystery. She calls maintenance to inspect the attic for any signs of an intruder.
Would it be safe for a person to walk up there?
No.
No.
His reaction is not as scared as hers, and he says there's not much of a chance of anybody going up there, but judging from the scary knocking sounds that come from that area, I'd say he appears to be wrong. The unsolved mystery gets even scarier from there. Later, when they go upstairs to check, they find an empty can at the entrance of the attic. I mean, it is within arm's reach, so they totally could have planted that there themselves and then had a scared reaction. If not, then apparently somebody's been doing a little sipping while snooping. With that in mind, does it sound like the maintenance man is a little shady when she asked if anyone's been up there?
Would it be safe for a person to walk up there?
No.
Nevertheless, let's hope they find whoever's been up there. A YouTuber named Craig Wilson was doing some home repairs when he noticed a small hole in his backyard. He opened it up a little more and was shocked at what he found waiting down below.
This hole goes down, down, down to a giant cavern.
It's a gigantic earthen cavern extending a full 16 feet straight down. Craig wonders out loud if this was natural or man-made as he continues to videotape from a dizzying height. Craig quickly had the hole filled the next day, but he'll never forget about the huge underground threat that was once threatening his home. He and his wife think that it was probably a well about 60 or 70 years ago, but they aren't positive. I'm just relieved that the hole didn't widen while he was standing over the edge. A YouTube channel called Golden Hour travels to a local lake that is just barely frozen over. They walk out a pretty good distance and then start taking turns hitting the ice right next to each other with an axe. It's a crazy game they've just come up with to see whoever will fall through first. The only problem is that they aren't exactly sure how deep this part of the lake is and the temperature is freezing. They soon decide to end this game early before anyone gets hurt, but then they come up with another equally crazy variation. This time they stand on the ice and try to sink themselves instead of each other. Thankfully, the spot they are standing in is only knee deep, but I just wanted to stress that they could have easily been standing on a sharp embankment and could have gone completely under. If that would have happened, they wouldn't have had very long to get out before it's too late. A YouTuber called Douglas Cash stands at the entrance of these caves in the Bahamas. The stunning scenery grows less colorful and more claustrophobic as he takes a few hesitant steps inside. Soon he finds himself staring down a tunnel that looks barely large enough to support a human when a wild shriek fills his ears. Listen to this and tell me what it could possibly be, animal or otherwise.
Well, you know I ain't going down yet, right?
Whatever it is, it sounds about medium-sized, but vicious enough to tear your throat out if given the chance. Even Douglas doesn't seem to recognize the menacing noise and decides not to go any deeper. But since he did come all the way out to this area by foot to do some exploring, he decides to hang around the cave entrance for just a bit longer. After all, it's brighter here, and he doubts whatever he heard is going to come out of the darkness. He explores for another 2 minutes or so, studying the natural rock formations and whatnot, and then decides to call it a day. But unknown to him, looking back at him from the darkness are two glowing eyes that quickly disappear, and if you listen closely, you can hear some kind of chittering language that could indicate a certain level of intelligence. For some magic, YouTuber Erwin Saunders encounters some Skalva pixies while wandering through this enchanted forest. This one pops his head out of his tiny abode.
Yeah. So, okay.
But he also comes across a couple of pixies in the wild. This one...
Well, I think it's the same one. Hold on. So I got a few shots. This, I think, is the first chap that I saw.
And this one.
And this is a different one now. He seemed to be quite suspicious of them and was brushing off I don't think he recognised the fact that they had, the dry roasted
One of them is even carrying something to defend itself.
Oh, now that's a beating stick that they knock against the wood. That's what alerted me.
Well, these creatures are animated. They do inspire the imagination, and for the greater good, as YouTuber Snow Shadow writes in the comments, Irwin helps create magic in a mad world. Thank you so much for getting me to 50,000 subscribers here on my Clips channel. If you want to support, please press that subscribe button. Let's get to 60,000 subscribers next. Thank you.